Tisk 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 Traveloko. Hey everybody, Sharon Lambert, One Girl, One Truck. I'm not on YouTube very often, but I just had to give my 2 cents on Traveloko's latest tax blunder. The one where they wrote off 100% of the gross revenue that their owner-operators booked in loads before they took their cut. The one where they're trying to make their owner-operators pay not only their own taxes, but Traveloko's taxes as well. They're trying to get out of a tax burden and pass it on to their owner-operators. Mind you, what they're doing, meaning their accounting practices, is not illegal, but most of us would agree that it's certainly designed to take advantage of unsuspecting owner-operators. And just an FYI, for those of you who may be late to the party, who may have missed this, I'll try to quickly explain what Traveloko has done. When they put their 1099s together, Traveloko passed 100% of the gross revenue to their owner-operators for loads that they booked instead of subtracting their 15 or 20% cut first. So if a given owner-operator booked $100,000 worth of loads, and I'm just using that for an even figure, if they booked $100,000 in loads, Traveloko issued that owner-operator a 1099 showing $100,000 in gross revenue instead of the $80,000 or $85,000 in gross revenue that they actually received after Traveloko took their percentage off the top. So owner-operators who aren't paying attention would assume the tax liability for that additional revenue that actually went to Traveloko. Individually, owner-operators have seen discrepancies of up to $60,000 between what they booked and what they actually received. And collectively, Traveloko passed hundreds of thousands of dollars in gross revenue and tax liability to their owner-operators. Now, I'm no tax attorney or CPA, but to me, this looks like an attempt at tax evasion. A few owner-operators have consulted with their tax attorneys and CPAs, and they were told to issue Traveloko a 1099 and deduct the revenue from their taxable income. That's the quick fix for owner-operators, and it solves their problem if they caught it in the first place. But has anyone given thought to the bigger picture of Traveloko as a company, as a carrier, as someone to lease on to? Their accounting practices may not be illegal, although in my mind they were certainly meant to be deceptive. I think they were counting on their owner-operators to be dumb truckers. But fortunately, a bunch of smart truckers caught their game and reversed it on them. Yay. Traveloko's accounting practices may not be illegal. However, their reporting practices may indeed be illegal. At the very least, they won't hold up in an audit. If the IRS decides to audit Traveloko on this, Traveloko will not have the paper trail to back up their deductions. In other words, Traveloko paid their owner-operators one amount, but they told the IRS when they filed their taxes that they paid them more. So that owner-operator that kept paid $80,000, Traveloko reported $100,000 for them, and they claimed the tax deduction for $100,000. But here's where they won't have the paper trail to back up their deduction. The brokers write off 100% of the revenue that they pay to Traveloko, and that's correct. Traveloko in turn wrote off the same amount, but their bank and payroll records, which is what they will have to produce in an audit, those records show that Traveloko only paid 80 or 85% of the amount that they deducted to the owner-operators. An IRS auditor would disqualify that deduction, and if that auditor were to be convinced that this was a willful act, Traveloko could be charged with tax evasion. Some owner-operators that I know of have ended their relationship with Traveloko over this issue, and I don't blame them one bit because it shows that they don't have the best interests of their owner-operators in mind. They're attempting to pass their own tax liability off to their owner-operators. If enough owner-operators issue 1099s to get that tax liability off of them, Traveloko will have to refile their taxes. Also, if enough owner-operators file 1099s and amend their returns, it might shine the spotlight on Traveloko and trigger an audit. If you are or were an owner-operator lease to Traveloko, you need to be looking at your 1099s and verifying them. You need to be looking at your 1099s for 2018 and 2018 and prior years. And you'll need to amend your tax returns to get that money back for the taxes that you potentially paid on thousands of dollars. For some owner operators, $10,000s. Tens of thousands of dollars. That's significant. That's very significant. And as far as Traveloko, I have no idea what to say about them. Wow. Just wow. Shame on you, Traveloko.